Know that Andrew Cuomo has had a few controversies,
Just a few.
scandals as the governor of New York in recent years. You've had the nursing home scandal, where he basically forced nursing homes and older care centers to take in patients who had been infected with coronavirus. You had the sexual harassment scandal, where he has been accused by, I think the number's at 8 now,
Something
8
along
women
those lines.
of inappropriate conduct toward them. And now you have another scandal where, according to the Albany Times-Union, he gave priority in the early days of the pandemic last March to people close to him, his family, in terms of coronavirus testing. Now, according to the Times-Union, one of the people who got special treatment was his brother, Chris Cuomo.
Exactly.
What do you think about this scandal, George? Do you think that, CNN they just have no choice but to defend Chris Cuomo?
They don't. Look, if I were Chris Cuomo, if I were Andrew Cuomo, I'd probably do what Chris and Andrew Cuomo did. I mean, if I have access to, I'm not saying that's right. That's not my argument at all. But if I've got access to tests and I have family members who are concerned that they might be sick, particularly a year ago, when, as we said, when there was so much less known about the coronavirus and its symptoms and how many people were dying from it and all that kind of stuff. Remember, there was this great sense of panic that we argued against at the Western Journal. Everybody said calm down, but a lot of people didn't calm down. And so if I were in that situation and had that power and that authority and access, special privileged access to these things, I can very easily see myself sharing that with loved ones and family members and whatnot. That's why, as a conservative, I argue that there should be as few people with as little privilege and access as possible. That's why we argue for small government, because that's what people do. If you give them power, you give them authority, no matter what their motives are. I think I'm a pretty, kind-hearted guy, generally speaking. I'm not any more corrupt than the average person on the street. But you give me power and I will abuse it. That's what I do. I am as broken as anyone else. So that's why we give as little power. That's why conservatives want to give as little power as possible to everybody, because we expect them, at least at times, to abide by their baser instincts, to be selfish, to look out for themselves first and their family members first, et cetera. So I'm not all that surprised to hear that Cuomo's did this. But it does, to your earlier point, Joe, I think it really does call into question this sort of incestuous relationship between the political class and establishment media figures. And it doesn't get any more incestuous than two brothers joking around on late night CNN. I mean, you have at that point ceased to pretend that there's any sort of journalistic integrity or objectivity anymore. You just throw it out the window. Everybody's in on the joke now. We've been pretending all along that the media is here to hold the government accountable. Right. Chris Cuomo's holding Andrew Cuomo accountable? Sure. Okay, whatever. Turn the pin.
And this is